Okay, so what we were discussing is why so many religions are there, and what is Sanatan Dharma, where does it fit in with respect to other religions. That is what we were discussing, but we have not yet completed. A few more slides are there, I will complete that. The next topic we are going to complete is understanding about God. So definition of God, names of God, and the role of God in whatever we see in the material realm as well as on the spiritual realm. What is the role of God? Because sometimes we have the role of God is he's a punisher, and he just punishes people who are doing wrong. But is that the definition, and is that his role or something else? Okay, and in what way we need to approach God? See, Bhagavad Gita talks about five things, five areas where it covers. One is that we'll tell you who you are, who is God, what is my relationship with God. These are the three topics. In addition to that, there are two other topics also. What is Kala and what is Prakriti. See, these are the five areas it will cover in toto, in addition to the other things. So, now we are trying to see who is God, and in one way we will understand about God, not in detail. In detail we have other sessions, 72 more sessions are there, so don't get frightened. But there are detailed things that will. And what is role of Srila Prabhupada in this entire contribution of spiritual knowledge giving to us? So we wanted to, he's an ambassador for spiritual world. So why we need to see, it's just not by namesake we are saying, we need to qualify that. And that's where we are trying to tell you in greater detail on those things. I'll be in a little rush mode, but please do keep your questions. If you have any doubts, we will address. Last time Mataji has asked some very wonderful doubt. Because of my ignorance, I might be saying some things, but I'll clarify and speak today. Okay. And we talked about spiritual master in the previous class, where we said that main duty of a spiritual master is to remove ignorance from our heart, from our brains, or wherever ignorance is there. Darkness remover is what Guru is. Nothing else. Ajnana timarandasya, jnanandana shalakaya. Ajnana, which is the ignorance which need to be removed, that's the role of Guru. Okay? And that is the reason why we need to approach a Guru. Why we are going for a Guru? Not for namesake. He is just, we are going and approaching him. How we should approach, that is also what we discussed in the last class. Tadviti pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadeshinte jnanam gnaninas tattva darshinaha. So the qualification of a student is also talked about. When we approach a Guru, we should not go with the aham. Nakanni telsu ante nothing will go in. Right? So for that reason, pranipatena, you need to serve him and approach him in a very humble way. That is what we as a student you need to do. In addition to that, we also talked about qualification of a very exalted devotee called Naranduni. We just stopped here in the last class, but this one will help us to understand what real qualification we need to have. Bhagavad Gita talks about it, that this is what you need to do when you are approaching a Guru, but it goes into a greater detail in Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam, Narad Muni's qualities have been depicted here. 4 qualities he has. He has many qualities, out of which 4 qualities. Because sometimes these movies and other things project Narad Muni as somebody who is ready to go and make quarrel between 2 people. But he is one of the exalted devotees. Right? So first quality he has is got self-control. Dante means self-control. Our spiritual consciousness starts when you are controlling your senses. Srila Prabhupada talked about it, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talked about it, we will see in the next slide. So, first is, what is first one? Self-control one should have. Self-control ante enti? నేను ఏం చేయాలి, నేను ఏం చేయకూడదు, what I should do, what I should not do. So the do's and don'ts you should follow. I should take these kind of foods and I should not eat these kind of foods. Some discrimination is used. Not that anything, just do it mentality will not help you. We know that ad, what is there, just do it, a Nike ad. So that mentality we need to leave. We are human beings, we intelligent human beings, so use your intelligence and discriminate. As I told you in the previous classes, when you read Shastra, you will get discrimination power. What will you get when you read Shastra? Discrimination power. Discrimination power, when you know, then you will know how to control your senses. What you need to do, what you need not to do. Next is aprihate. So not being attached to generally sports, but not getting attached to things that are in this material world. Don't get attached. If you are doing a job, don't get attached to that job. You say that it is there because I am in this material world, I need to take care of my family, I need to take care of my body, so I have to work. So don't get attached. When you get attached, that's what will happen when you will indulge in wrong ways to do those things just to gain whatever you want. But when you know that I am doing this job for a reason, and that reason is to take care of my body, mind and soul together. I wanted to be here and do my spiritual activities, take care of my family. And when you have a higher vision, that is what will guide you to be unattached and do the job properly. Not that we are hodgepodge in our professional front or in any other front. Right? Aprihate. The next one is called Alpabhashini. Alpabhashini means talking only when required. We are more used to talking anything, any matter that you bring, gossip. Gossip ante enti? Gallo inchi maatalu disi maatladame gossip. So just talk any matter. So most of the time, I'm sorry to say that, but Matajis have got this thing more. People say, I don't know. But again, you are more emotionally attached. But for that matter, don't waste your time. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So there is some voice coming from the background. Okay. You are saying something, Prabhu, from online? Okay. So please stop me, raise your hand and someone will take care of that. So please don't mind. But point is that each one, Prabhuji is also no exception. We are also so much. Nowadays, when you go to any mall, any restaurant or any of these metro, nobody is making their head high, always low. Why? Mobile phones. So much. See, gossip need not be only by speaking. By reading all this trash that you get on the WhatsApp and all this, so much of time is wasted which you don't even know that you are wasting your time. It is like anesthesia patients, we are there. So anesthesia patient, like everybody is moving like this only, robots. Nobody is looking at who is there, who is not. When you go to a restaurant anywhere, nowadays a lot of parents complain that they are not speaking to each other. They are just only WhatsApping. And only WhatsApp message they are seeing. क्या order किया, क्या खाया, वो भी पता नहीं है. Because you are just engrossed in this only. Where is the time for your mind to concentrate on something else? So much of these things happening, just the whole thing what we are trying to say is sense control. What to see, what not to see, how to speak, all this sense control only. 5 senses we are engaging in the wrong ways. Right? So Alpabhashini, talking only when required. Don't speak unnecessarily. Use your time in spiritual consciousness development. Whatever consciousness you have, enhance that spiritual consciousness. Right? The last one is Anuvarshini, following the instructions given by the teacher. What instructions we are getting from where? Can somebody tell? Now the last one, is it applicable to you? Are we getting any instructions? Oh, tell me, Prabhu. Krishna Prabhu, right? Your name Krishna. Tell me, Prabhu. Fantastic. So whatever preliminary thing is Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is all instructions given. Krishna gave it to Arjuna. Arjuna is basically a means by which we are getting the instructions what to do, what not to do. The Shastra says that it is like a milk. When you wanted to get milk from a cow, what do? You send a calf such that the udder of that mother is loosened and the milk starts flowing naturally. Then once it drinks whatever it wants, and after that the rest of the milk is given to us to consume. So similarly, Krishna is this Vedas, knowledge of the entire Vedas is coming to us through Bhagavad Gita. And Arjuna is the means by which we are getting all this instruction to us. Like a calf by which rest of the milk is spread given to all of us for our nourishment. Similarly, Arjuna and Bhagavad Gita for us. Okay, so Dante is very important, and Srila Prabhupada has a conversation between a devotee and a Prabhupada. Having controlling, can somebody read please?
Having control the senses, this is Dante. We have to control these things, then the special favor will be there.
Okay, so controlling the senses means Dante. Here, in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, all the Vedas are searching after me. Lord Sri Chaitanya says that in the Vedas, the subject matters are only three. Namely, just to reiterate, in Vedas, the subject matters are only three. Namely, to establish the relationship to the living being, living entities with the personality of Godhead. Who am I? Who is God? What is my relationship with God? Right? I perform relative duties in devotional service and then achieve the ultimate goal back to Godhead. See, somebody asks you, what is the purpose of your life? What will you say? Your LKG boy asks, or a girl asks you, Amma, lepote brother, sister, what is the purpose of your life? Em cheptaru? What will you say? अरे सोच के बताऊंगा, 1 साल के बाद आओ, 10 साल के बाद आओ. You need to know, why are you coming to these classes? What is the purpose of you coming to these classes? If you don't have that purpose, nothing will enter here. You cannot even follow what I am saying or what Srila Prabhupada is saying or what Bhagavad Gita is saying. Purpose. Why do you go to college? At least that purpose you know. Degree chahiye. Knowledge chahiye, some people may say. But degree chahiye, at least you have that purpose, right? Why are you coming to these classes? Purpose likh ke aa jao. You write it down on a paper and read, because your mind is so vulnerable, it will deviate you saying that जाके time pass करके आओ, उससे बात करके आओ, दर्शन करके आओ. But finally, ultimate purpose you need to know. Darshan is one of them, but that darshan should also match with your ultimate goal. Okay? So, see, basically, in the next slide I am going to talk about the 3 things. For anything that you do, there are to be success. How many of you wanted to have success in your life? Everybody wanted. What kind of success you want? Material success? Spiritual success, material success. दोनों चाहिए. But nothing wrong. But again, see, if you see Arjuna, was he materially successful? He was a king and he was expert in his area of profession, right? Never Krishna said that don't take up your profession seriously and go to sannyas. He said fight like a warrior, Kshatriya, and be proficient in your area. To become successful, whether in material sphere or in the spiritual front, you need to have 3 things. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. Sambandha, because purpose of your life I am talking about, right? For that, these 3 things are important. To become successful also, these 3 things are important. Sambandha. Sambandha means, suppose, how many of you got married? Okay. So, there is an initial prastavana they bring for a bride and what is that? So, for both there is a sambandha established. They tell you who is this, who is that, there is jatakal kalseya leva, this and that. Finally, they establish a sambandha. Once sambandha is established, is that sufficient? No, right? After that they get married and they start live together and do the certain activities as per their dharma or as per their roles and responsibilities, the duties they will perform, right? And finally, they should also know what is the ultimate goal of getting married also. So, similarly, whenever you take up your professional front also, you need to get qualified, you need to establish the sambandha. Means you need to have the right kind of skills to perform that particular profession, right? And you need to do that. Not that I have skills and I don't want to do anything, that's no good. You have to perform. Sambandha is just establishing that relationship. Doing that is abhideya. Doing part is abhideya. Got it? Sambandha is just establishing that relationship. Abhideya is doing it, but prayojana is what is the ultimate goal? What will I get? Prayojana means what will I get out of when I do these activities accordingly. That is what the scripture also tells you, that what will happen when you read Bhagavad Gita. It will establish that relationship and you need to do certain things. That is called devotional service. And I wanted to qualify what is devotional service. Can somebody tell what is devotional service? Service to Lord. How will you do service to Lord? Okay. So basically again, how do you do devotional service? There are four things, four yeses we can say. Again, I am giving so many things in one shot. Please forgive me. We will dig deeper into the details later on. So, first sadhana. Devotional service, there are four legs you can say of devotional service. Sadhana, swadhyay and seva. You can take these three, and we can also have fourth one also, but for today three is enough. Sadhana, swadhyay and seva. What is sadhana? Sadhana means doing your whatever rituals in one way. Ritual in the sense not in a negative way, like taking up Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a ritual, and it is also a mandatory ritual because it will help you to overcome that clutter of your mind. Mantra means manah trayate iti mantra. That which delivers your mind, that which purifies your mind is mantra. Clear? That is the reason why we do sadhana. Sadhana primarily Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Swadhyaya. What is Swadhyaya? Swadhyaya means reading the scriptures. Because your intelligence should also be purified. Mind can get purified with Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Intelligence, discrimination power will come when you take up to reading Shastra. That intelligence get purified. And seva. Seva is also very important. Why seva is important? Most of the time we are in the rut of me, mine. So you have to overcome that. And when you do seva, and seva to a exalted devotees or seva to any of the Vaishnavas, then the blessings that you get is enormous, where nothing can match for you to progress in your spiritual path. So if you see ISKCON, you find that there are so many senior devotees who got blessings, and because of which they are able to continue their spiritual journey. Naito hurdles will come, and we always have to pray for the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Okay, so we will not spend much time because we have to cover the rest of the things also. Okay, Vedas, the subject matters are only three as we discussed. Ultimate goal is to go back to Godhead, and you don't want it to come to this material world again. Why do you don't want it to come? Somebody was asking, I wanted to go, I am ready to go to the spiritual world, but will there be newspaper there? Then there will be no newspaper, there will be no some trash like this. Then I don't want it to go, because we are so much caught up with this material mindset that we wanted all this trash to go in every day. So we need to progress in our spiritual path. Sense control is very important, and for that you need to also do one thing for sure. His Grace Radhesham Prabhu says that we need to follow GIGO principle. GIGO. What is GIGO principle? Does anybody remember? Garbage in, garbage out. So if you put garbage in all the time, what will come out? Garbage only will come out. If you put good in, what will come out? Good will come out. So character development will happen, habits will get cultivated, good habits will be cultivated. So control your senses. Especially, I would repeatedly say that controlling your senses nowadays means control your hand which is going on your mobile. So, because unconsciously this happens. You are not doing Mataji, it is unconsciously happening. Because our mind is always like addicted. It is anesthesia has been given, or it's so much into this. So please control this one thing. You see how much peace you will get in your life. I am telling you practically. I don't have TV at home for last 10 years. अरे क्या हो गया, क्या पागलपन है ये, टीवी नहीं है. People will say that. No, आप कैसे जी रहे हैं प्रभु, आप नॉनवेज नहीं खाते, what are you eating then? आप भूखे रहते हो रोज. People are like that. They will tell you. But if you don't stand for something in your life, right, you will fall for everything. What is your identity? You are calling yourself a human being, you can't control your senses, then what human being you are? A dog cannot control. The other day, His Grace Radhesham Prabhu was giving an example of a, what is that, marshmallow experiment. So you can go to the internet and find out one video, and for this I am saying that go to the internet. Marshmallow experiment, go through it. Okay, because we don't have time, I am not going to that. So last time we discussed about this, why Sanatan Dharma and Vedas are to be taken in what context, and because other religions talk about same things, that you need to have a guru, you need to love God, you need to do service, all that, but how part is missing there? How I should do, that they are not saying. What they say, that there is a spiritual world, but they don't describe the spiritual world. And there is no examples where people have gone there and seen and given you the first hand information. All this is there in our Bhagavatam and in our Shastras. That it's like a lower grade subject that you are reading, mathematics, versus the graduation level mathematics. So that's the difference about Vedas. Sanatan Dharma is like that. I am rushing a little bit, but how old is Sanatan Dharma? Basically, by the dawn of this particular material world, from that time, this Shastra has been, this Vedas knowledge has been given to the first person called Brahma. So many millions of years back. Not that 5,000 years back, Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Krishna. But before that also Vedas were there. So that's the, but when you talk about Islam and Christianity, nothing, we are not discriminating in one way, but we are saying this, what is the matter that is discussed, to what extent they have discussed. In fact, Jesus Christ says that I have so much to tell, but you are not there to receive what I am going to say, because their level was only that much, and he stopped there. So similarly, but Vedas have gone to the extent of telling you everything, including material science versus spiritual science. Both you have. Vimana Shastra and Ayurveda and everything. For that matter, it's a complete knowledge, complete science. Correction. So that's what. And there are similarities between Sanatan Dharma and other religions, including Islam, where how they address this spiritual jiva is called as Mujarat, and consciousness is called Ru Mujarat, and conditioned soul is called Baddha Jiva in our this thing. They call it as what is that? Murtarthi KB. So basically what we are saying is that the concepts are there, but they did not explain in detail to analyze things in proper perspective, right? So this is all is there, nothing much to discuss more now. Okay, I'll just skip and go to the essentials. Now when it comes to Sanatan Dharma, it talks about basically who is the Supreme Lord? God. So it talks about spiritual world also, and what are the activities that the Supreme Lord does when he comes to this material world, and when he is in the spiritual world, what does he do? All these things are there and incomplete. Not that we give any half information. So that's what it is. And there's a discussion between these two people. The essence is the same. Depth of verifiable and inconceivable information in the Vedas is far greater than the other scriptures. The depth is greater. Again, this is the fact. If you see, in Vedas everything is there. How this material world is created, when what is created, exactly what is the date. And if you see this planetary movement, when did Rama go to forest? Exactly the date is there. By planetary movement also you can they can put that into picture, and the dates you can go back to that date actually. And when did Mahabharata war happened? Exact date you know. And similarly, when you will this material world will go and get annihilated, that is also there. Everything. And who are the people who have what are the God incarnations happened, are going to happen, that's also there. So like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was predicted, Prophet Muhammad was predicted, and Jesus Christ was predicted. All this is there in the Shastra. So see, unless and until somebody is there behind to tell you, who knows about what is going to happen, this is not a game of chance. It is basically as per plan this is happening. And when this will end, this is also known. Like that. Okay. Any doubts so far? Anybody? Because it's one way it's going. I'm not used to this, but there is a pressure that I need to complete this module. So God said, let there be light, and there was light. So that is what is there in the Bible. God said, let there be earth, and there was earth. This is like that they will tell. In fact, it is true. We are not denying, but the information is limited. The how part is missing. When you go to Canto 5 of Bhagavatam, it tells you how this entire universe was created. From ground zero till this entire material world is formed. It will not just say this, the light was like what is it? Let there be light and the light has come. Let there be earth and the earth has formed. Not like that. They go into the how part. How part is greatly discussed or detailed. The depth of the verifiable, inconceivable information in the Vedas is greater than the scriptures. Okay. So here if you see, Srimad Bhagavatam on the other hand gives step-by-step information of how the creation of the universe as well as all the living entities take place. The Sankhya, the count philosophy, 24 elements of the universe given in the Vedic scriptures is scientifically explained in detail. So 24 elements. You can find a mini universe here, because all 24 elements exist here also. So in the universe you have, and here also you have. There is a soul there also, there is a soul here also. Unless until there is a soul, how will that revolve on its own? So you cannot conceive that, but again it's all given and very detailedly explained. And in fact, for us to move also there is Atma and Paramatma. Two things are there. So in the universe also there is a soul which also is there and it moves, and for which everything happens. Okay. So in other religions it is said that God is great, God is love, God is almighty, but here it is given in greater detail, but they hardly give the information about how God is great. They will not say Allahu Akbar. You might have heard that word. Allah Akbar means what? God is great. That is what Allahu Akbar means. We don't know the meaning, but I knew the meaning by asking, why are you always saying Allahu Akbar? God is great, that's good. But how God is great? They cannot explain. So here it is explained in greater detail. How do we reciprocate with God? That is also there. Okay, how God is great, how He reciprocates love with the devotees through colorful pastimes. That entire Bhagavatam, if you see, it's all about devotees. Devotees, how they loving exchange that they had with the Supreme Lord. The entire Bhagavatam. See, what is Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is where Krishna's instructions have been given for us to follow. Now, Bhagavatam is a live example of when you follow the instructions given by the Supreme Lord, who are the people who have taken those instructions in their life and what did they achieve. The entire Bhagavatam is all about the devotees who practiced spirituality, practiced the instructions given by Krishna is what you will see. So practicality, confidence आता है ना life में. अरे just this is theoretical. No, it is not theoretical. What are the pitfalls you will have when you are going through this spiritual journey? Now, in Bhagavatam you will find that, I'm sorry I'm saying this, Bhagavatam you will find that Brahma was attracted when he saw his beautiful daughter. Now Brahma, he is an exalted devotee. This is mentioned about, he got attracted to seeing his daughter. What cheap is this? But it is also telling you that material world, he is also belonging to this material world. Controlling the senses is very important. That is what is getting thought there. Vishwamantra Muni, great exalted person, just by Shakuntala, what her son? Huh? Menaka's ankle belts he heard, left all his tapas of thousands of years of tapas, and then begetted his children. Again he realized, "Arey, kya ho gaya mere ko?" So point what I am saying is that it's not like not to get married or not to beget children, but consciousness is very important. Controlling your senses is very important. So that is what it teaches, and that's what as human beings we are supposed to. And in greater details, when you read the Shastra, what will happen? When you read Shastra, what will happen? Anybody? Knowledge. Inka? Knowledge will be improved. Inka?
Which is correct, which is wrong.
Heart can? Yes, Mataji? Online?
Which is correct, which is correct, which is wrong.
What's your name, Mataji?
Swarupa.
Swarupa Mataji. Hare Krishna. Discrimination power perutadi. Discrimination power ostadi. What to do, what not to do. Very important. Basics, fundamentals. Nidarlo leisna gani cheppale. If you wake, somebody wakes you up from your sleep and asks you, why I should read Bhagavad Gita? Arey, discrimination power aayega. Just like that. Why I should do Mahamantra? Mind control nahi hai. Mind control hona hai. Manatrayate itina mantra. So when you see, these are basics. So why you are doing is very important, and we need to understand that without any confusion. Knowledge, when you read Bhagavad Gita, knowledge badega. Kya knowledge badega? Next question. Knowledge badega kya? So when you give an answer, no second answer should come. Discrimination power, it includes knowledge also. Discrimination power without knowledge hoga kya? Nahi na? So that is what. So this is very clear. Now, so basically depth of Vedic knowledge is compared with dictionaries, and a pocket dictionary is what the other religions are, and a chamber dictionary is what is Vedas and knowledge from Sanatan Dharma. So that's what. Understanding about God, very quickly we'll go. The simple definition of God is Janmadi asya yataha. Janmadi asya yataha. That means the source of everything is Supreme Lord. Understand this. Definition of God. So a lot of people ask so many definitions. Anything that this is happening. Why I took this birth? Because the Lord has decided, that is the reason why I took this birth. Yeah, karma is there, the other things are also there. But ultimately the sanctioner is Supreme Lord. I have to lift my hand. Who is the cause? I might say I am the cause, but unless until sanction comes from within, which is Atma and Paramatma. Paramatma is the sanctioner. If he does not sanction, you cannot lift your hand. Right? So, for this universe to go in this direction, like revolving 9 planets revolving specifically in that orbits, and so precisely the distance is maintained, all this can happen only because the Supreme Lord has asked to happen like that, and he is the cause of all causes. Is that clear? So the one from everything emanates. This is what Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.1 says. The starting information in Bhagavatam is this one. Janmadi asya yataha. From where everything emanates. Is that clear? In one way, what is that? The source of everything is Supreme Lord. Okay, so again, definition of God is given by so many other religions, and Bhagavad Gita. See, in Jesus Christ says that I am Son of God. Prophet Muhammad also says that there is Allah who is the Supreme Lord. He is the messenger. And Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he says that I am the source of the spiritual world and the material world. Everything emanates from me. So if you go to this chapter and section, you will be knowing it. Okay? And unfortunately, again I say this, unfortunately people say that Jesus Christ is God. He himself never said he is God. He said I am Son of God. And yeah. Okay, any doubts please? Anybody has? Before names of God, there are so many names of God. As you have names of the, what do you say, sun. Sun can be called Bhaskar, so many names, right? So similarly, Dinakar, Surya, Aditya, the Supreme Lord has got millions of names. And the primary name is Krishna. The Krishna name is saying what? What does the word Krishna means? They are all attractive. So he attracts us. See, most of the time we get attracted for so many other things. But naturally, which attracts you is Krishna. Because he is already there. He is attracting us. So God has various roles to play, and very important. So he is the creator, maintainer and destroyer of the universe. And he destroys demons, he protects devotees and re-establishes religious principles. We know that. This sloka is very famous. B.R. Chopra, the first Mahabharata. Can somebody remember? So whenever there is religiosity is increasing, then I come and to re-establish the dharma, I come back. That's what he's saying. Protect the devotees and re-establish religious principles. That's what. So beyond this world, there is another world called spiritual world. The God is the God in various forms enjoys loving pastimes with the devotees eternally. So we only know about the material world, but there is spiritual world. And in the first class we talked about that in that spiritual world there is no need for electricity, there is no need for artificial any lights and things like that. It is self-luminous. Because of the luminosity of the Supreme Lord, everything is illuminated. So you don't need any. So, and there is loving pastimes that they have with the devotees. Because of the above different roles, some religions present God as giver of justice, rewarder and punisher and maintainer. So to this extent they can limit themselves. So basically there is a concept which we also have, hell and heaven. Hell में कौन जाएंगे? जो बुरे काम किए. Heaven में कौन जाएंगे? जो अच्छे काम किए. And who is going to be punishing? The Lord will be punishing them. Who has in my childhood they used to say, there will be a big pan of oil, hot oil, and you will be fried there if you do this. But this is what they say. If you do wrong, and so that they prevent you to do wrong. But this fear consciousness to make you go towards spirituality is one level okay, but it's not the right way to deal with things. But जब बच्चे हैं तो after that when I was grown, if that concept अरे कुछ भी नहीं होता है, कहाँ इतना बड़ा पैन रहेगा क्या? नहीं रहेगा. तो पूरा झूठ बोल रहे हैं. इतना हार्ड कहाँ, ये हम थोड़े ही मिर्ची बज्जी हैं कि हमें ढालो और फ्राई करो. This is not going to happen. So now actually how you should take the concept of God and what is his role, we should understand. And then we will get the right perspective. Because that perspective will only be there till 5-6 years. After that it just goes away because you will reason. And that reasoning is not fitting in your framework. then you will just leave it. Right? So now if you see ascending to love of God, 4 platforms of worships are there. The first one is fear. So in the fear part, what will happen is that we ask a student why you are studying hard. If you ask a student, oh, that is next level. First one, they'll say that मेरा पिताजी मारेंगे मेरे को फेल हुए तो. That fear is there. I don't know. When I was a kid, if I take my report card to my father, when good marks are not there, I used to see his mood. Or when he is watching a TV or something, I used to put, he's seeing something, sign kar diye. So you are fearful that what will happen if my marks are revealed. So fear is what makes you go and study. That is one level. So, and similarly, as we told, the fear of getting burnt in a big pan of oil is one fear. And that will not be. The second one is desire. Second, desire, asking for desires. We say that, right? Sukh sampadi ghar aave. A lot of Diwali is coming very soon. A lot of people pray for Ma. Who? Which goddess? Goddess Lakshmi. Durga in one way, goddess Lakshmi. Sukh sampadi ghar aave. So that is the reason why if you go to any of these Marwadi shops, early morning, he will not even take customers. First puja karna hai. Why? Ghar sampadi aaye. So for that only. And this desire is there. And for that, and when you wanted to go to and pray for Maruti, the Hanuman Maruti, you wanted a big car, Maruti car, and for which you go. You wanted a good job, you wanted so many things, right? So this is the desire is what will make you go. You go to Tirupati. Tirupati, how many people have gone to Tirupati with love? So many desires. Bhagwan mere ko ye de do, Bhagwan mere ko ye de do. The Supreme Lord is saying, so everybody is asking, coming and asking for this, mere ko bibi de do, mere ko nice husband de do, mere ko job de do. So many applications. Srila Prabhupada gives a nice analogy. He says that when you go to a hotel, a restaurant, you will ask a bearer to come. Hey bearer, come here. He gives you the menu. 2 plate idli, 2 plate puri, 1 masala dosa. And chalo jao. And now, why are you acting like that with the bearer? Why? Because he is supposed to give me what orders he has to take, and in return I am giving you money. So you are not doing any favor. The relationship is not loving relationship. It is just a mechanical relationship where I give you money, you give me food. Now you are going to a temple, in front of the Lord, you are holding your hands in one way, yes. But again your desires are, Lord, give me this, give me that. In turn, don't give me free. I will do pradakshina 100 times. I will break this many coconuts. And when I get what you are sanctioning later on, I will give half of my profit margin to you. If you don't give, your 50% gone. So, what is the relationship that we have with the Supreme Lord? Is it like hotel bearer and a customer? Is that should be the relationship between the Supreme Lord and us? No, right? Srila Prabhupada says that we should have loving relationship with the Supreme Lord. That is their ultimate goal. Right? Now, desire is one. Next is duty. So now if you see duty, it is all the devatas pray to God. Thank you Vishnu for providing everything. So that kind of a duty bound they are. We'll go into the greater details. The last one is the love. Love is the highest platform. Can anybody tell what is the example that you can give about love? Mother and child is one very close that you can give in the material world. Because the mother relationship with the child is uncontaminated, or to the extent that it has is not having contamination. They are not expecting when I give birth to this child, he will take care of me, this and that. So it is uncontaminated. No, that's. So in the spiritual world, what is the example that you can give? In material world, yes. Krishna Sudama, very good. Anything else? Who said that? Who said? Oh, Mataji. What's your name, Mataji? Sakshi Mataji. Very nice. So gopis are the highest among all the devotees. There is a pastime. So stop me at 10 to 12 to. Oh, that's not the correct, huh? It's correct only, right? Okay. 10 minutes to 1 you stop me. Before they say that stop, we will stop. So we will take control of ourselves. Because most of the time they are saying, get bahar chalo. Hum bahar chale jayenge. Okay, so the example given why the gopis are exalted. Once what happened is that Supreme Lord Krishna wanted to say that or prove that who are the greatest devotees. I am giving an example. And Narada was called, and called in the sense Narada was there, Krishna was lying. He says, I have severe headache. And this headache is so much that it can only be relieved if I get dust from the feet of any devotee. So उसमें क्या है, मैं कहीं से भी ले, all these devotees are there. Then he called Satyabhama and all their wives and said, why don't you give? He's got headache. What are you talking? Krishna, Supreme Lord, and our dust, we will go to hell, we will not do this. And similarly he asked others, his best friend, he asked, who? Uddhava also. And finally everybody said that no, we will not take the risk of going to hell and doing that aparad. Then he went to gopis. Gopis, Narada said, this is what it is. We need dust from your feet. Then they were jumping on the mud and saying that take all this dust. You will go to hell. We don't care to go to hell. If Krishna's headache is getting relief, we don't care. So that is what real love is. And if you see in the material world also, mother is ready to take the pain of getting delivery of the kid for 9 months and she is getting kicked inside, but still she is bearing. She doesn't really care. And similarly, these devotees, the pure devotees, the gopis, they never cared. They can go to hell also. So that means to say what? That means to say that your selfishness is gone. You are no more caring about you. Your welfare is, when Supreme Lord is getting satisfied, we are good. Now if you see, when this ISKCON wanted to get established in Juhu, was one place where the temple need to get established. And there was a time when the person who has given that place, Juhu place, the land, that time he gave it for a very less price. And later on, lalaj aa gaya usko. What? I have given it for less price. After 3-4 years, he said, no, I don't want it to sell. You vacate this place. And there are only few foreign devotees who are there. He made to a plan by which he wanted to kill these devotees also. And he brought in gundas. And these people who are foreign devotees, they were ready to fight them. 4 or 5 people. And entire government was on his side. And ISKCON at that time also, now also, we kind of have gratitude towards Bal Thackeray, because he stood at that time, and not that he only stood, but devotees had a stand, that they were also prepared with guns, saying that if somebody is going to come, and immediately a temple should be built, because only thatch hut was there, and immediately that time cement was under control of government. You cannot go and buy. So cement also he controlled. We couldn't get cement. Finally they got somehow cement, and it was raining like anything, but still they constructed with cement whatever. Temple was established, and it was such a horrible way. But this is what we say, that devotees means they don't care about themselves. They are interested in ultimate loving relationship, doing what is instructed by their teacher, and to satisfy the guru, they are going to do to whatever extent. There was a Mataji that time, and she was assisting. What's her Malti Mataji? I think is it Malti Mataji? And the train that Mataji was assisting Srila Prabhupada preparing the food, and that time she has to. The Srila Prabhupada was not having hungry appetite, and all of a sudden he said that I wanted to eat some khichdi. So Malti Mataji was there, and then she wanted to prepare, but in the train, where will we do? Then she went to that bogie where, what is that? Pantry, where they went there and they objected, we cannot allow. First of all, you are a foreigner, you are asking that you wanted to get the prasad prepared here, this is not possible. She was ready to jump from the train if it is not allowed. Just see. This is for fulfilling the desire of the spiritual master, they are ready to do anything. So that is what the qualities of a devotee are. To what extent we call ourselves a devotee? What sacrifices did we do in our life? We are not even ready to leave onion and garlic. Forget about other things. What sacrifices we did? So what I am trying to say is that if you wanted to really become a devotee, try to ask yourself, what am I doing? Am I really following the instructions given by Krishna? Am I reading Bhagavad Gita? Am I chanting my rounds? When you do all this, then slowly the Bhakti Lata will be, that creeper which is there, which will slowly start climbing up. And for that you need to have a solid stick for which it can wind up. Bhakti Lata, you know, right? The creeper, it needs a solid foundation. This foundation is what is coming in this Bhagavad Gita foundation 1. And similarly when we go, right? Okay, so the love is what we all are looking for to. So there are 4 types of bhaktas who come to the Supreme Lord, which we know: Artho, Jignasu, Arthardi and Gnani. This is what in Bhagavad Gita, we will go into the details. What are the 4 types of people who come to the Supreme Lord? First is Artho. Artho. Artha means what? Artha. Okay, that is the third one. What Artha, Jignasu, Arthardi. Arthardi means, Artha means money. Artho means somebody who is in difficulties. Problems hai, mera health theek nahi hai, mera husband theek nahi hai. So something where you have problems, then you go to the Supreme Lord. Jignasu. Jignasu means he is inquisitive. He is inquisitive. Arey kya life? What is life? Who am I? Who is Supreme Lord? This is also a good way to approach. Or these are the people who go. Jignasu. Arthardi, who wanted money, and Gnani. Gnani is the one who wanted knowledge. Right? Hare Krishna, can you control the pen? Okay. Can you give me my bag? My battery is low. Thank you, Bhagavad. Thank you. Can you mute all? Yeah, thank you. Can you control, or I should control? You become co-host, Prabhu, because in between the class I have to do. Bro, can you do it? Because I'm in the middle of the class. Somebody has to do it. Okay, I lower my volume, so I can't hear any of them, but that's okay. Okay. Okay, so where are we? Sorry. Ha. So out of these four, Artharthi we have seen, Gnani, the knowledge. Out of these four, Krishna says, out of these four, one is the best one. Why? Who is that and why? Why Gnani? Gnani is Shuddha Bhakta. Shuddha Bhakta is beyond all this. Gnani is not Shuddha Bhakta. Gnani means what? He is trying to seek knowledge. Gnanis are the people who are come to the Supreme Lord because they wanted knowledge. That is what Gnani. Jignasu is inquisitive. And Arthardi is basically looking for money or some material prosperity. Artho is basically is in difficulties. Out of these four, the best is Jignasu. Krishna says not Jignasu, Gnani. Why? Always if you ask why, then that is where the scripture will reveal to you. Because scripture tells that. Why? Artho, when the problems are gone away, I was taking these classes and once the Mataji was coming regularly, but all of a sudden for 3-4 months she did not come. Then once I met her and I asked her, Mataji, what happened? You are not coming to the classes? She said, I had problems, now the problems are gone, so I stopped coming to the classes. So that means, if problems are there, you go. If problems are not there, you don't visit the temple also. So that is one category. It's temporary. Problems are easily aaye. Second one, Arthardi. Material prosperity I want. If prosperity is given, then you don't come. So that is second one. The third category, Jignasu. Jignasu is a category, he is like window shopping. हाँ ये क्या है, हाँ क्या दाम है, हाँ ये है, हाँ ठीक है. So it is window shopping. So once you get that information, you don't come back. So window shopping hai. Gnani is looking for knowledge, and the knowledge is vast. So you will retain, and in that process of gaining knowledge, you will understand what is the purpose of your life. Then there is a chance for him to become a devotee. That is the reason why Krishna says that Gnanis are the best out of these four. Out of these four who come, the best is that Gnanis. Devotees are the ultimate. But out of these four, these Gnanis. Okay. Okay, so now we will have a short video we will see from Srila Prabhupada, and for this I have to make my audio up.
Bharatvarsha, India's profound culture, filled with penetrating answers to man's deepest questions, has long guided thought in the Eastern and Western world. Ancient philosophers like Pythagoras,
1 minute.
medieval thinkers
Let me
like Voltaire.
just do this.
Bharatvarsha, India's
What's the time? 10 minutes is there, that's sufficient. I'll just put this.
Bharatvarsha, India's profound culture, filled with penetrating answers to man's deepest questions, has long guided thought in the Eastern and Western world. Ancient philosophers like Pythagoras, medieval thinkers like Voltaire, modern scientists like Schrödinger, Heisenberg, and messengers such as Swami Vivekananda accepted Indian philosophy for guidance and inspiration. Yet the purpose of this culture remained unknown, hidden in the hearts of India's greatest mystics. Thus, 50 years ago, in 1965, this rarefied essence was carried by a compassionate 70-year-old saint, Srila Prabhupada, to the shores of the Western world. Embarking on this difficult transatlantic voyage, experiencing 2 heart attacks on his 38 days aboard.
The pain was so serious. I was
this embodiment of India's sacred teachings set out alone with an impossible wish to spark a revolution of the individual heart, to fill it with purpose in a world of uncertainty, with joy in times of difficulty on an international scale. This gift was the teachings of Bhagavad Gita as it is, as it has been practiced for millennia, as it is, along with its original Vedic Krishna conscious culture. By his character and his compassion, Srila Prabhupada's systematic and scientific presentation of Krishna consciousness penetrated the very hearts of all those who heard him.
In America, in September 1965, my mission is to preach the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare.
And within a mere 3 years of his arrival, a genuinely international society, ISKCON, manifested globally inspiring teachings of Indian arts such as painting, music, instruments, and exhibitions. B. Books, particularly his magnum opus, the literary and intellectual jewel, Srimad Bhagavatam. C. Cuisine, the entire suite of exotic Indian vegetarian preparations, mastered by generations of cooks and enthusiastically embraced by boys and girls over the standard cow flesh, alcohol, drugs, coffee, tea, and even the onion and garlic. D. Dressing, men with dhoti kurta, women in saris, all with tilak. E. Etiquettes, respect to elders, the saintly, and to God. F. Following the cultural pathway, Sanskriti, for example, introducing the sanctity of Vedic marriage with all its duty and its commitment. G. A God-centric program establishing a personal relationship with the Lord in the form of exquisite deity worship, performed communally with kirtan, distribution of Mahaprasad, and worship. H. A healthy lifestyle with regulation such as rising early in the morning and pure habits such as bathing upon rising. I. Indian ethics, establishing the value from scriptures such as Ramayana and Mahabharata of a life filled with perseverance, tolerance, and humility over personal appearance, education, and wealth. Included 3 major centers of culture and education in Bharatvarsha, India's profound culture filled with penetrating
That was Srila Prabhupada, who has gone to the West and established this Sanatan Dharma, and he has given us back the once when he went to Britain, the Great Britain, and people asked, why you sadhus, you kind of people, beggars, why do you come to our country, rich country? Then Srila Prabhupada said, you Britishers, when you came to India, you have robbed everything, including our one of the world's biggest, Kohinoor diamond. You missed one much more precious thing for which I have come here to give you, and that is Bhagavad Gita. So we are all givers' nature. So we always have the giving mentality. Mother is pure because she wanted to give, and the gopis are pure because they wanted to give. So have this mentality of giving. So that is where our culture is. And what we have learned today, I will just summarize. We talked about why many religions are there, where does this Sanatan Dharma fits in, in what context we should take Sanatan Dharma so that we can apply in our life. And we talked about 3 things basically. We said that there are 3 things that you need to have when we wanted to become successful in our life. What are the 3 things? Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. These are the 3 things that you need to ask yourself and establish. Sambandha Jnan, That is also Gnan. Sambandha Gnan, Abhideya, how to do things. And the last one is to also know. You can also have it in the first Prayojana. What is the ultimate goal of doing these activities? When I establish this Sambandha, what will I get? So that having end in mind, Stephen Covey says that, having end in mind. So that is what Abhideya is, to know that. And in spiritual success, if you want, there are 3 S's that you need to follow. Sadhana, Swadhyay and Seva. These are the 3 things that you need to have to be successful in your spiritual area. Okay? And we talked about the understanding about God. Who is God? What is the definition of God? And names of gods, and the role of God in creating this material universe and spiritual universe. Okay? And the kind of relationship that you can have with God, we should move from the fear consciousness to loving relationship with the Supreme Lord. So that is what we talked about. And in the end we talked about Srila Prabhupada, who is the ambassador for the spiritual world, where he has given Bhagavad Gita as it is, including all the literatures, and also giving us a step-by-step process how we can achieve that, or you can develop that spiritual consciousness within ourselves. So that's the contribution about Srila Prabhupada. We are eternally indebted to Srila Prabhupada because of his contribution, and we should always be humble when we approach a spiritual master. We have seen the qualification of a guru and the qualification of a student, and how we should really go about and take seriously the spiritual consciousness, because there is no difference between human beings and animals if you do not have the spiritual consciousness developed within us. Okay, so I end here. If anybody has any questions, we have 5 more minutes, exactly 4 more minutes to wind up. Anybody? Yes, Prabhuji. Many years ago, 100 years ago, Swami Vivekananda went to Chicago. Yes. He said, my brothers and sisters. Okay, so yeah, good point. In fact, if you see in this video, we have also mentioned about Swami Vivekananda. Okay, see, there are times, the last time when one Mataji asked a question about Guru, who was that Mataji? Is she coming now? Oh, she got annoyed with me, probably. No, she did not come. But see, sometimes as human beings, we do mistakes. I wanted to acknowledge her that I should not hurt her feelings. See, a truth told to displease others or to contradict others is not correct. Truth also should be told if it benefits the other person. Understood, sir? So, what I am trying to say is here, everybody has a contribution that they have made in this spiritual journey. You cannot take away the contribution of Swami Vivekananda, what he did. He has brought in the Hindutva concept, and he has given the identity for Hindu in one way. And the oratorship with which he went, and the kind of a person he has dedicated his entire life. So, we cannot downplay anybody's role. Right? Sometimes people may say that the philosophy is not complete and it has to be taken in toto. But point is that to the extent what he did, he has contributed. So that's how we need to contribute. Now a lot of people say that Gandhi is this, Gandhi is that. But Gandhi has contributed to the extent he has contributed. Nobody is there here to say that 100% they have done everything. And Srila Prabhupada, when we say can give contribution to Srila Prabhupada, he gives the credit to his Guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He says, I did nothing, I am just a postman. All my blessings of my spiritual master for which I have done. So we cannot underplay anybody's role, and because of that, ISKCON has decided that Amoglila Prabhu to go for 1 month of ban from ISKCON, and he has to go and stay in Himalayas somewhere. So atonement, kind of. See, the prayaschitta is there, and we should always try to see that we are not offending. And see, we have established Sanatan Dharma in Western countries without a word of criticism about any other religion. In fact, now also in entire this eternal, how many religions are there? We did not say any word about Christianity, Islam or anything, right? We just said that this is what they are, but Sanatan Dharma is this. You make the decision. That's what we are saying. I don't know if I have answered your question. Is that okay, Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Any other question anybody has? Mataji's? Mataji's? No questions? No questions at all? So once what happened is that, okay, that's a story that I will tell later. Sir, Prabhuji, we have 2 more minutes.
During the lecture, you have mentioned about various levels of the relationship that one should have. One has with Lord.
4 levels.
4 levels arising from
Fear to finally love.
It is not always possible for us to stay on the platform of love. Although we are in this material body, we are living in this material world. And just like any other person, we do have material desires because we need material objects for our survival.
Absolutely.
And we keep asking God for
Yeah.
these things. We want material possessions, we want money,
Yes.
we want
That's the reason why 4 varieties of people are approaching God. Yes, you are right.
beautiful wife and also on. But it is not always possible to stay on the platform of love. That is the
Absolutely.
So, are we on the wrong path or what we should do so that we are constantly on the platform of love?
Absolutely. I got your point, Prabhu.
Or we should not ask for material benefits from Lord?
So, in Bhagavad Gita, I will answer, Prabhuji. Thank you. Wonderful question, Prabhu. Thank you. Your name, Prabhu? Rahul Prabhu. Fantastic. Now, Prabhuji was asking that naturally I am this material, I am spiritual, but that's secondary now. But this material body is there, family is there, body is there, maintain karna hai. So I have so many desires. So what should I do? I cannot suppress them. Because naturally I wanted a good position in my profession. I wanted to get educated properly. I wanted to earn money properly. So then what should I do then?